Good day and welcome back to ASB Now. As always, my name is Judah Richards, and surrounded here by me is some of the delegates from the Portraits of Excellence. Now it's just a bit of a recap, so a small interview on the people that were there, So I will let them introduce themselves, starting from my left and going to my right.
So, good day everyone. My name is Jad Isidore from the beautiful island of St. Lucia. That's right, the Helen of the West Indies. I'm a second year computer science major and I love to cook, bake, and hang out with my friends.
Hello everyone, I am Abigail Collins and I am your Miss USC. I am a Jamaican and I was representing the North Carib region. I am in my third year and my major is psychology, and something fun that I like to do. I like to sing, of course. I love to dance and read.
Okay, am I right?
Hi everyone, I am Anya Nero from Sweet TNT, and I am your Tobago representative for Portraits of Excellence. I am a third year social work major, and something that I love to do, I'm very adventurous, but if I see a lizard, I will scream like a baby. And so I am so excited to be here with you all.
Hey guys, of course I have to do my finger snap. My name is Kahlan Roach and I'm from the gem of the Caribbean Sea. Want nothing with me, I am a Bajan. I'm your Mr. Barbados representative. I am a third year biology major and I love to sing and hike.
Okay, that was some excellent introductions. You all practice those?
No.
that was very, very well. That was very well. So to really start off, I'll start off with Kahlan because he spoke last. So what do you think? What was Portraits of Excellence all about to you? What was the experience? What was the experience like for you?
Okay, it was a really great experience, to be honest. I would say over the past 7 months, we would have done various training seminars and various outings, getting to meet our mentors, making friends, making connections. So I would say it was overall a great experience for me.
Okay, I think I jumped the gun a little bit. What is Portraits of Excellence really about? In your words, what do you think it was about?
Okay, so basically it's a scholarship program. So you journey from 7 months where you just learn about the school itself, learn on various topics such as health, grooming your talent, how to public speak. So basically growing you holistically, over the past 7 months, and then ultimately is to win scholarship money for USC. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Okay, cool. All right. So you talked about your experience. So I'll go to Jad. So what was your experience for you?
Well, personally, I would say I encountered a growth spiritually, mentally, and socially. Spiritually, the Portraits of Excellence being a big initiative, right? I was impressed to go in a corner, right, and talk to my God, find inspiration, creativity, right, for my cultural way, research topic, right, mentally in a sense that I was able to, the Portraits of Excellence entail that we do a research proposal, right? So I was able to develop and construct a research proposal. So that in itself helped me mentally and socially. If many of you knew me before, and now I would say as a reserved person, and now I have been, I came out of my shell. Yeah, so.
Okay, nice. We love that. That's growth. So Anya, so what have you learned over the last couple of months? What have you learned over the course of this?
So I learned so many things, especially how to collaborate with a team to fulfill a community project. That was the most fulfilling aspect for the whole Portraits of Excellence for me, collaborating with a theme called the DCI, and we did so many initiatives. It was a dream come true because I always wanted to serve in my community, and I was very happy that Portraits of Excellence had given me that opportunity to serve the persons in my community in Tobago.
Okay, apologies for that. Yes, so Abigail, right, yes. So what have you learned over the last couple of months?
Well, over the courses of so many seminars that we've had, one thing that stood out to me was emotional intelligence. Learning how to manage my emotions, how to understand my emotions, and also be able to understand others as well. And so with the community project, I was able to act out what I've learned on the seminar, emotional intelligence, and get a more understanding on how persons are, and how to connect with people and understand them. So those are some things that I've learned.
Okay. So yeah, so over the course of the month, you had to do a certain amount of tasks, and one of those was your research project and the community project. So I just want to start with I'll start with the community project actually. So I want to start with Kahlan, and we'll go down this way again. So I really just want like an overview of your community project, and what it was about and stuff.
Okay, so for my community project, I focused on the non-attendance in school. I mainly focused on the Maracas Presbyterian School. There were certain certain percentage of children who were not coming to school. So my study focused on that. We would have interviewed the parents and tried to find out what's the factors that are affecting the non-attendance and how we are able to best address it. So that was my community project.
Okay, and how was that for you? Was that a fun experience?
It really was a fun experience, interacting with the children and so on. They were really happy because they didn't have that spark that they needed to. Education begins with me. They didn't have that spark, but then after the whole community project, they wanted to just branch off and become something great. So yeah.
Okay. That's nice for giving them their spark, as you said. So yeah, Anya, so what was your community project?
My community project was about reducing school violence within secondary schools. And so I partnered with a NGO called Women of Substance Tobago, and we went to 2 secondary schools, Pentecostal Lights and Life Secondary, and Scarborough Secondary High School. And I was able to meet with these students and even teach them about mental health, about emotional intelligence, all these things that would help them to control, social situations so that they would not end in violence. And I was able to also be interviewed on one of the channels in Tobago called Tobago Updates. And it was just a fantastic experience, even collaborating with a youth group called DCI, Divinely Commissioned International, and even giving hampers to students who were doing good in school and they needed that support. So we was able to go to the different high schools, be interviewed, and help those students who really needed that support for my community project, all with the aim of reducing school violence.
Okay. Yeah, that's very relevant, I think. I do feel like in Trinidad specifically, I've seen way more school violence since I got out of secondary school than I see anywhere else. So I think that's a really good project. And so on this side, Abigail?
Well, my community project was addressing the contemporary issues within male in the Caribbean, right? We know of the high murder rates and the gang violence, also school violence as well. So my club and I wanted to do was promote male empowerment to these males. And a great way to make a change is to go to the upcoming generations, and that is our teens today.
Yeah.
And so we went to different schools, we went to homes like the St. Mary's Children's Home, and we went to youth groups as well from different countries in the Caribbean to promote male empowerment for them. And we can see that it was a great impact because I was able to interview them after the end of the seminar, the workshop, and they stated that they were really impacted in terms of like they know now to manage their emotions and to deal with conflict. And also, they were provided with their certificate after. So it was really a great work done, a great community project that I was very proud of.
Okay. Yeah, I think that was a really interesting angle. I really do think that that's a problem, you know. I feel like we lack a lot of male role models, and that is a thing that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
So, coming up last, Jad?
So my club, the Illusion Club, and I started off this initiative acronymed STEP, which stands for Skills Training Education Program, right, which focused on aiding individuals develop a skill, right? I believe that society places a lot of emphasis on, those individuals, getting a degree, right? Focusing on the individuals that are academically inclined as opposed to the individuals that are not academically inclined, those that can use their hands, right? So we focused on helping individuals develop skills such as baking or pastry baking, upholstery, and baking, upholstery, and the other one not coming to mind right now. But yes, it was really nice to go out into the community. Well, the community came to us, right? But we reached out to them. They came, and we had the project being done right here at USC. It was really nice to see the individuals come out. They took notes. They even got to use their hands. It was more of a practical than a theory initiative.
Okay. So out of all the community projects that you all talked about, who you all think, I won't say who did the best, but who you all thought was the most interesting, or was a really interesting project that, take place, that they did?
I think everyone is very unique in,
Yeah.
each community project that they did really and truly, because I noticed that everyone did something where it's that holistic development that happened. So I think each person's community project was really, impactful. It was really needed.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. Well, then in that case, we can move on to the research projects, right? So we'll start on this side. We'll go the other way.
All right. So my research emphasis was on teachers' perception of COVID-19 pandemic on undergraduate students' sexual behavior and its impact on their academic achievement.
Okay.
Now, seeing that we just came from, although it has been 2 years now, but we came from a COVID-19 pandemic, right? And we realized that the impact that the coronavirus had on society on a whole, right? I thought it was necessary to look at the impact or focus on the impact it had on students' sexual behavior and also their academic performance, right? It was interesting to know that most of the students were heavily impacted. Not only the students but grown-ups on a whole, right? Their research whilst researching, I found study that said that a lot of persons during the pandemic, the rate for pornography viewing rose, right? And it was interesting to know that a lot of the youth were included in that percentage, right? And also there was teachers. Well, there was research that stated that teachers also saw there was a change in students' behavior, especially as it relates to their sexual misconduct. And I thought it was necessary to focus on that research and see if we could find solutions to mitigate or help students find control over their behavior.
Okay. Abigail?
Well, my research was really something that impacted me as well. it was on the barriers to higher education access for the male adolescents visually impaired at the School for the Blind.
Okay, that's interesting.
So, yes. And so, because it's a proposal, I didn't get to do the actual research per se, but questions were brought up, like if there was any psychological impact on these male visually impaired students. Were they able to go to school during the pandemic? And were there any financial and technological constraints, for these visually impaired students? And if not, what accommodation can be made for these visually impaired students, that if a situation like the pandemic should occur again, are they prepared? Are things made readily available for them? And so those are concerns, because we need, as the theme for the portraits was reframing realities, reshaping opportunities. So we look at these male visually impaired, and it should be a priority that opportunities should be made for them, and reframing their realities that they are important in this world as well, and that they can achieve anything despite they being visually impaired.
Okay, I really like that, because I feel like a lot of differently able people get left out to dry all the times when things happen, So I really like your research project, and I think it's going in a good place. So I'll start on this one.
Alright, so for my research proposal, I focused on the systems to prevent secondary school violence in a denominational school in Tobago.
Okay.
And the reason I focused on the same theme of school violence is because I recognized within Trinidad and Tobago, school violence is a big issue, especially after COVID-19. We saw many cases of school violence. I remember even when I did my research presentation, the next day my mentor shared a newspaper article that happened the same morning about a school violence instance.
Yeah.
And so I looked at the systems that are in place to prevent these children reacting and getting engaged in school violence, because I believe that school is a place where we should be safe. We should feel comfortable going to school to gain our education. For some, it is a struggle to just get to school. So when persons get to school, they should not have to worry about getting into fights, about being bullied and stuff like that.
Yeah, you have to learn when you're stressed.
Exactly. And so that is why I chose to focus on reduce the systems to prevent school violence, and not just looking at what we would do in case an instance occur, but preventing the whole issue. And so that is what my research proposal focused on.
Okay. Yeah. Once again, I really think it's an important aspect to focus on, specifically for Trinidad and Tobago as well. So Kahlan?
Well, for me, I would have focused on a pre and post pandemic outlook on online learning methods. This study would have focused on the biology majors, GPA, and study patterns. Now, I actually chose this research proposal because it relates to me. I started USC in 2020, but it was physical, and then everything just online.
Mm-hmm.
So from my study, I looked at from September 2020, just the full semester online versus September 2022, where we finally came back into physical school. Now, I just wanted to see what were the differences that would have impacted, like the study patterns, the GPA would have hit raised or would have lowered, with the study patterns better or were they worse. So I just wanted to focus on those aspects to see. So we're here now. How can we address these and how can we move forward? So that was my research proposal.
Okay, yeah. Do you all think that in terms of like what he's talking about, do you think that all of you all would have done better or worse had your education been completely in person, or had you not had that stint online, do you think you were better or worse?
I prefer the online platform.
Yes.
So, really? Well, I guess I'm the minority here. I hated it online. I definitely
Well,
think.
it has its disadvantage in
Yeah.
terms of social and stuff.
Yes.
It really does.
Yeah, I think that's all I think people do facting, because I don't know. It's hard for me to learn, I guess, if I'm not having that community as well, so I guess I just felt a bit, shut in. So moving on, I want to talk about the gala, right? So that was a really big event for you all. So just first thoughts, did you all enjoy it?
Of course.
Indeed, it
Yeah,
was awesome.
definitely. Definitely.
Okay, so like, what were your thoughts, your emotions going into that event? Anybody can.
It was a bit tense for me. As I said earlier on, I still consider myself a reserved person, right? And having to be out there to basically not move but break out of my shell, right? And seeing that I was first for basically everything, the talent piece, the costume presentation, and also the impromptu question, right?
A bit
Kind of-
nervous?
Pardon me?
A bit nervous.
Yeah. Nevertheless, I had to just go out and give it my best. Yeah.
So do you think you've changed? You're better now because of that? Or do you think you're still quite reserved?
Still quite reserved, but I do see myself, being out or being more open, right, in the upcoming days ahead of me.
Okay. Anybody else? How were their thoughts going into the event beforehand?
For me, with portraits overall, it was nerve-wracking because I didn't really know what I was going into per se, but I was determined that I wanted to develop myself, to be a better person, and also to, meet new people, because as Kahlan said, you're coming out of COVID, coming out of online school, you don't really have that much of a community or much of friends. So I saw this as a great opportunity to, create new bonds with people, and I have met wonderful delegates who I consider to be I got close with. So it was really something impactful for me as well. It really gave me an opportunity.
Okay, yeah. Anybody else before we move on? All right. Well, can anybody else then give me for people who did not see the gala event, they weren't there for the event, right? Can you just give a recap of what really took place? If anybody could give me a recap.
So for the gala, we had a patron, Mrs. Rowley there. She came, she spoke. We had two excellent hosts who are very prominent in Trinidad and Tobago, and the delegates. So we were basically the star of the show.
Sure, okay.
We were able to do our talent pieces. We were able to do our choreography together. That was the first main act. We were able to show our cultural wear, and also our impromptu question. We were able to answer those. So it was really a fantastic experience. I enjoyed performing. I enjoyed just being a part and even listening, because I didn't get to see most of what the other delegates did, but I enjoyed listening to what they did. It was really fabulous, and I could just imagine what it felt like being in the audience and getting to see everything while hearing everything. I missed that opportunity, but it was overall an excellent experience, and we are all truly portraits of excellence.
Okay. If you don't mind, what was your talent piece?
My talent piece, I did a spoken word and I sang.
Okay. Anybody else? What was your talent piece?
I did the same thing.
Okay.
I sang, which had a little bit of acting. Then it was mainly on male empowerment, a mesh of my community and research project together. And it had an element of surprise, which was a reggae piece. So
Okay. All right, Kahlan.
For me, I did an original song. So yeah.
Okay, all right. All have talented guests up here with me today. So, how was the experience like overall? How would you rate it? Do you think you would do it? Had you known everything? Would you have gone into it? Did you enjoy it? Like, what was your complete thoughts on everything so far?
It was awesome. At first, for me, though, it was nerve-wracking, as Abigail said, because you're not too sure exactly what you're going into. Especially for me, I was in Tobago at the time, and for the interview, I'm seeing 7 persons there to interview
7
me
people on the panel.
about
Oh yeah,
that.
that's
It was a lot, and and but when I get into it and I get to meet everyone, we had the fun activities, the scavenger hunt. That was my favorite. That was my
That's
very
favorite.
memorable.
Abigail and I won along with Kahlan and Jesse. It was very fun. The whole experience, the talent piece that we did, the whole night, it was epic. I would encourage everyone to try to be a part of Portraits of Excellence, because not only do you have fun, you are able to develop yourself professionally. Meet ministers as you engage in research. You develop yourself holistically. So it was indeed a wonderful experience, and I would encourage everyone to try to be a part of Portraits.
And sorry, so if I may add, you may get to see that self or that part of you that you may not have even saw yourself as.
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like when I was hearing about things, I was like the opportunity that you all got. I was like, wow, that's really crazy how you all had the ability to talk to those people and have those experiences. So I do think if anybody is having like if they're not sure, I think this is an excellent experience. But coming back to for Mrs. and Mr. and Mrs. USC though, how will you continue to represent USC in the future? Moving forward, how do you represent the school? Either you can answer.
Well, for me, having gone through such a wonderful experience, I see myself in the future sharing that experience with individuals. As I mentioned earlier on, I got to develop we got to develop a research proposal. And as you know, not many individuals get such opportunities. So I see myself going out and doing little mini workshops, helping individuals how to develop a research paper or research proposal, so that when they get to that point in their life, they will be able to develop one themselves, and also help individuals to notice or see the need to go to God when they face or when they encounter big initiatives such as Portraits of Excellence, to see the need to come to God and speak to God and find the strength and courage, the creativity to take on such an initiative.
And listen, yes.
Great. Well, for one, I have already started, right? I am for those who may know, there's an ASB election that's going on at the moment, and I am running up for the position of extracurricular academic activities in Team Uplift, right? And so, I said to myself that even from the beginning, if I do not become Miss USC, I still want to do something that I can impact students' life. And so, yes, it's academic, and so that's a category that I want to help students and make it less challenging for students in USC. Teach them proper time management, less stress, all those things I would like to, help in.
Okay. Anything you want to plug for your team? Because we will be seeing them in a future episode. So anything you want to say before they come up? Anything you want to say about on behalf of your team?
Team Uplift?
Yeah.
well, firstly, vote for Team Uplift.
That's
because because Team Uplift is a combination of persons that are on campus and that are outside of campus, so we are all rounded. So we understand you as a student, right? Especially for commuting services. academics like myself, spiritual development, and all other positions there. We believe that we are the right team for you. So vote for us, and you will see a difference. I guarantee you.
Also, if I may add, I'm also vying for the position at the men's club along with Abigail on Team Uplift. I also do hope to share my experience, the experience that I've gained with the men as well.
Okay. Impromptu. That was very impromptu, but I didn't really mean to turn it into a whole elections thing. But to the runner-ups, what on your journey? What do you see in your future as Youthans? What do you see in your future? What do you plan to do moving forward?
That's right. So currently I'm in the USC's Got Talent. We have the semifinals today actually, and the finals going into Saturday night. After that, I plan to continue my research proposal. We're in the work with my mentor. We're trying to get it approved by the IRB so that we can start by the 1st of May.
Okay.
So we can get that research done and published before I graduate USC. Along with that, I plan to also serve on the different various clubs. So we have like NOSTI. I provide those like community and humanitarian like clubs. I also plan to revive the University Research Association because I love research. It was up during 2020, but somehow it just died. So I plan to revive that hopefully before I leave.
Any competitions or any
Competitions? Probably USC's Got Talent, but other than that, no.
All right. Okay. So lastly, any competitions you're running for? Anything? One thing you want to plug beforehand? Or?
Well, I am just transitioning to the main campus because I am from Tobago campus,
Right.
and being here on main campus for the first time because of portraits has really inspired me to stay on main campus, and so I am going to be here, and I see myself working ardently within the I Connect Ministries. I am the leader currently for I Provide in Tobago,
Okay.
and so I see myself continuing to serve within the I Connect Ministries. And I recognize being a Tobago representative for portraits that I need to also bring the Tobago culture here at USC main campus. And so that is what I see myself working alongside the Trinidad and Tobago Club, and truly really enjoying and appreciating different cultures here at USC. That is what I see myself doing as I work to stay on main campus.
Okay. So any closing words anybody wants to say before we transition on?
Yes, I want to see you for the delegates. It's truly been a pleasure getting to know each and every one of you.
Yeah.
You have been so fun, so kind, and I look forward to another activity where we can, develop each other and get to know more about each other. It's been a pleasure.
For me, I would say to the listeners to trust God as you journey through your academics. Know that you are excellent, and whatever struggle you are facing right now, with God, all things are possible. You will overcome, because we as delegates had so many challenges, but we overcame. And we were there to support each other and love each other through the journey. Even if it was a competition, we are like a family,
Yeah.
So continue to have that spirit, of love towards, each other, and know that in the end, you will win. You'll be victorious. Yes.
For me, I would say when portraits come around, because they announced it at the gala itself for next year, try when the link comes out, sign up for it. The growth and the experience that you get is one that'll last for a lifetime,
I agree.
and you don't want to miss the opportunity. That's all I have to say.
You don't have to say anything. Okay. Right. So I will say, however, that I think what you've all been doing has been really good. I think that the growth that you all have gone through, I think that that's also been a really good learning experience for you all. But I also think that you don't need to come to this. You don't need to go through portraits in order to grow and in order to be excellent. So I'll talk to all my viewers and I will say that you don't have to come up here to grow and to do great things, right? To become these different, to become these portraits of excellence, as they would say, right? So to all our viewers watching, just try to be better. And with that, I'll be ending. You can find us on IG at usc.asb and at the channel USC. On Facebook at the USC's Associated Student Body, our link tree usc.asb, and on YouTube at the channel. This has been ASB Now. I will see you next episode.